Are Miss USA and Miss Teen USA okay? Blink twice if you need help, ladies. Welcome to this little catch-up episode for Miss USA and Miss Teen USA. I wanted to create this episode because we haven't really talked about USA in a little while, and there's not much to talk about. We don't have even half of our state title holders crowned. So what are we gonna talk about? But many of you have been messaging me and you've had similar questions. So let's all get caught up. After my other episodes about the current state of the USA organization, a lot of you have been messaging me and saying, hey, isn't it funny how suddenly Miss USA is making appearances after those episodes, after she was MIA for weeks, months, whatever it was. And yes, it is interesting. And I am glad that she is making appearances. But there's just a couple of things that I've noticed, and I know y'all are noticing it too because I've been getting messages about this. First of all, let's talk about how happy I am though that Miss Teen USA and Miss USA are making appearances. Very, very happy to see that. This should have been happening the entire time. This is the point of the organization, right? This is how it's mutually beneficial. The title holders make appearances, they create brand awareness, you get more contestants. It's a win-win for everyone. So I do love that. The other thing though I will say is that I miss having a stylist for Miss USA. Now I know the stylists in the past have gotten really mixed reviews, and I'm not saying any stylist, I'm saying a specific stylist. Ideally, there is this one influencer, her name is, let me check. Her name is Leonie, and I feel like her style is great inspiration for our Miss USAs and our Miss Teen USAs. She has this really nice mixture of what is trending and cool and fashionable, and then also a lot of her pieces are hyper feminine and they're quite glamorous, lots of rhinestones, lots of feathers and chiffon. And I really feel like her personal style would be such a great look for our Miss USAs because it's that nice combination of trendy and then also pieces that I feel like would really appeal to pageant audiences. Anyways, that's my own thing. I just have to say that because Noelia is so stunning, but one thing that I have noticed about these appearances is that I don't feel like her outfits match the events. Like one specifically really stood out to me. When she went to go visit the Biltmore, which is where Miss USA is gonna be held this year, she was wearing this mini floral dress, and then everybody else, all the hotel staff, were in suits, which makes sense because these very much look like uniforms that you would wear to work when you're working at a hotel. But I just feel like in that moment, it just would have made more sense for a title holder not to wear a spring floral dress, but to wear a blazer dress or a suit set, or at least some slacks and maybe a cute trendy button up or a cropped blazer, like something that has a little bit of that professional vibe to it. Then Noelia went to a red carpet movie premiere and I loved that for her, but I didn't feel like the dress that she was wearing made a lot of sense. Like that type of gown is like a pageant gown, and pageant gowns are more similar, I would say, to award show season dresses than what you would wear to a premiere. I feel like at a premiere in LA, it's not as formal and you can get away with wearing a super cute cocktail dress, doesn't even need sequins, or just like a really cool, trendy look. Like something more like you would wear to a fashion week. I feel like that makes a lot more sense than a pageant evening gown to a premiere. Next, I want to bring attention to something, and I don't know if you caught it, but it's something I definitely noticed. Remember how Porsche Downtown LA was the sponsor at Miss USA this year? They were in the telecast. Did you catch that Noelia did get a car, but it's not a Porsche from Downtown LA? It's a Mercedes. And then when whoever is managing their social media posted that she got her car, they posted that it was a BMW. What is literally going on? Oh, something else that I noticed this week on the social media pages, and other people noticed too, which was just strange, was they announced that the first runner-up for Miss USA and for Miss Teen USA. So for USA, it was Hawaii. For Teen USA, it was New York. They made a post congratulating both of them for having the highest interview score. Great, I don't mind that, no problems there. But why make the post halfway through Noelia's reign? That's a post that you make shortly after the pageant. And also it's just a strange post to me because I feel like when other pageants post about special award winners, there's not just one special award winner that they mention. They're gonna mention this is the winner of Congeniality and Best in Evening Gown and Best in Interview and Best National Costume. Like, they mention everybody and not just one. Even though Noelia and Uma Sophia are making appearances right now, something to me is just setting off my senses. And I know it's not just me because I've been getting so many texts and so many DMs. People are like, what exactly is going on? Frankly, I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes. Yes, I hear things through the grapevine. I can't share about these things because many things that are shared with me technically are alleged, because if it's not coming directly from a person, I'm not gonna know that it's the absolute truth until that person comes out and speaks for themselves. So I can't say a lot, I won't say a lot. I don't feel like it's the responsible thing to do with the channel. But this is a post that got sent to me and we'll talk about it. So Uma Sophia made this post, very cryptic, and it was very confusing. People started sending it to me and I hadn't even been on Instagram yet that day. Everybody's talking about it, everybody's texting me, and I don't have good answers for them. And then the stranger thing is Noelia goes, reposts that post, and then adds her own 2 cents into it too, also still cryptic. Then let's tack this onto another post that was sent to me. I don't have a personal Facebook, so I am not in the loop when it comes to Facebook, but this was posted by Uma Sophia's mom. Also, quite cryptic. And it referenced Noelia too, that everybody's praying for them. Praying for them for what exactly? Like, what is going on? I have the feeling that there is more than meets the eye. Until we get a full story, like I said, I don't feel like it's responsible to talk about things that are alleged. But it is really interesting, and I feel like our current queens want to say something but can't because they're under contract. And I've had quite a few contestants reach out to me, and they've been very torn about whether they should compete in USA this year. And understandably so, totally agree. My advice personally has been to wait. Wait until we get past this bump in the road for the overall organization. The reasoning that I have shared with a lot of contestants is because once you win, you will sign a contract. And typically contestants are so excited after they win that they don't even have a lawyer look over that contract. It's kind of a rushed ordeal. And I know this because I have won several titles, and I remember that. I remember the excitement of winning, and I remember going backstage almost immediately and being rushed through a contract and not even having the time to really think that much or that deeply about what are the implications of what I was signing, and just being excited and signing my life away for a year. I did this when I was a minor. Now, when you do this as a minor, contracts are a little bit different. There's quite a few things that you really can't hold a minor to, even if they sign a contract or a parent signs on their behalf. There's a lot of stuff that just doesn't quite work the same for minors. It's different though for adults. It's legally binding. And in this case, when we think about Miss USA or Miss Universe contracts, these are employment contracts. You're working for the organization. You're receiving a salary. It's a different scenario. I really feel like moving forward, contestants should have the opportunity to take these contracts and go over them with a lawyer. But I can remember signing mine, and I actually signed my title holder contract the day after I won, and I really appreciate that my directors did that because I sat down with my sister queen and my directors, and they went over every single point in my contract and my title holder responsibilities. And I got to ask so many questions, and I was not rushed at all. When they were explaining everything to me and answering any of my questions, I didn't feel the need to consult with a lawyer because it was very clearly and plainly stated, and the contract made a lot of sense. And a lot of it was quite standard for being a title holder. So I feel like I had a really great experience signing a contract, and I had a better understanding of what I was getting myself into. But moving forward for pageantry, I do feel like that's something that should change. I don't think contestants should necessarily rush into signing these contracts, because my advice to contestants is when you do, you're under contract, and unless you're willing to give up that title, if something is going on behind the scenes, you can't speak out. And when you think about it, if you have any other normal kind of job, any other typical 9 to 5, there's an HR department. There's somebody you can consult if things are off, or there's something that you disagree with at work. But that doesn't really exist in pageants to my knowledge. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist for organizations. I'm just saying that it's definitely not something that's commonplace that people discuss or that contestants feel like they can refer to. I hope that things are going well for our title holders, but I'm personally very curious about these cryptic messages, and I know it's not just me. I know a lot of you are very curious too. I wish I had answers, but time will tell, friends. We're all gonna have to wait it out together and see what is going on with this organization. And to answer many of your questions, will I be going to the pageant? Hopefully. I don't know. I don't know if it's in the cards and if it makes sense for my schedule and my budget, frankly. So we'll see. Thank you though for joining me for this quick little update. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to hear everybody else's thoughts on this because it's just something I've been noticing. I know you are too. So I enjoyed this little catch up with you. And if you have any requests for other episodes, let me know. As always, I will keep you as posted as I can. Please tune back in. I can't wait to start sharing episodes about our state title holders. Unfortunately, we're not really gonna get a lot of them crowned until mid to end of summer. We're really cutting it close for any prediction videos, but if there's anything else I can create, please let me know. I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you've checked out my other recent episodes, that you're up to date with the rest of my Miss Universe coverage. A lot of other countries have already started the process of selecting their title holders, or they've crowned their queens. I'm really excited to continue coverage for Miss Universe this year. I really hope that I have the opportunity to attend the pageant. If I can, of course, I'll take you along. But thanks for joining me for this episode, and I hope that you'll be back for a lot more.